Hey guys, Basil and Will from Grayson Hobby, and today we have a new product we're going to do a demo on.
It's the iX8 radio from iRangeX. The question is this going to be an end-all radio to where you'll never have to buy another radio again, or is it another like niche market kind of radio?
Yep. And is this a fat shark killer, or Tyrannus killer, or spectrum killer, or anything like that? Stay tuned to find out. Yep. What you got there, Will?
All right, guys. So today we have the iRangeX IR8M. A whole lot of letters and numbers. Basically, it's a new radio from iRangeX. This is something I think we're going to start seeing with the Eachine quads down the road, I'm hoping.
So it came from Eachine.
Well, yeah, this came from Eachine. They sent us this.
Yep.
As everybody knows, there's a lot of mergers going on with the companies and all that. So
let's open it up.
Let's get it open. Now, this is a black version. They also make a white. Is it a silver or white? I believe it's actually white. Get this thing out of the box here.
Wow.
So
a lot bigger than I thought it was.
It's a bigger transmitter comparison.
It's the same width almost.
About the same width, but the gimbals are wider apart. The screen's about the same size screen. We'll go more into the differences later. A USB cord. It does have a receiver. I believe this is a FlySky based receiver. Looks like the A8S, which is, I don't like that receiver, but this thing in here is a little Allen wrench. I'm guessing that's to adjust gimbals or something, or tighten down the little. Like typical everything else, I do not see a manual. There's a reason for that, guys. Deviation firmware. This is what you're gonna find on the walk here at Devos and stuff like that. Firmware, the manual, because the firmware is changing just like the Tyrannus and all that, you're not gonna find too much paper documentation. This is something you're really gonna have to go online and look this stuff up. So if you're one of those guys, you just want instant gratification, you don't want to configure anything, this is probably not the radio for you, just like a Tyrannus. That's where Spectrum comes in play, because anybody can kind of fiddle around and get that going.
All right, so explain why this is so hot.
Well, the biggest thing about this, guys, is it has a multi-module inside it, which is something you normally buy aftermarket for like Tyrannus radios and such.
What's that mean?
It allows you to run various modes like Spectrum, FlySky, FreeSky, Walkera, so the JJRC, SEMA, Hubsan. I can go on for quite a bit. There's like 40 or 50 different variations of software from the controllers they use, the radio frequency modulation.
Does it work with 72 megahertz?
No, it does not work with 72. It's 2.4. It's a lot of 2.4 based things.
So that being said, it works with pretty much every quad that is popular right now. The FreeSky, FlySky, Tyrannus, Spectrum, everything. Yeah.
So yeah, other than setting up a channel 5 on this particular case.
Wow, so there you go.
So it'll bind with a UMX series or any Horizon receiver. Or
That's awesome for me.
I'm not a fan of the joystick style myself. I've been using a traditional box radio for many years, so
like your PlayStation, Xbox, something like that.
Yeah, this is more like the Turnigy radios and all that they made, the Evolution. It's kind of on that basis. So people that are into like PlayStation, Xbox, and all that, they're gonna be more comfortable with the thumbs of this one, thumbstick. The actual radio itself, though, is pretty light. It's pretty nice, but the biggest drawing of this one, in my opinion, is the ability to have the multi-module already installed. For those of you who don't know what the multi-module is, that's something you normally would purchase from iRangeX that goes in the back of the Tyrannus. That allows you, it's got 4 different chipsets inside it. It allows you to run FlySky, FreeSky, Spectrum, and what was the other one? The Walkera protocols and all that. Basically, and there's a bunch of like toy models, like a Hubsan, SEMAs, some of the Eachine.
Basically anything out there.
There's like 60 different models I think it equates to.
Wow.
And it's always updating. It already has the module installed in it. So guys that are flying the Hubsan, SEMAs, the little Eachine toy ones, that don't have a radio yet and they want to step into that FPV, they want to step into more hobby grade stuff, but they still want to fly their older stuff because they enjoy it, because not everybody has to have the latest and greatest of everything. This is where this radio is probably going to shine, because it's 8-channel capable, it has the multi-module already installed in it, it has like the video game style controller, so it's very friendly for people just getting into the hobby. The screen's pretty nice. It was harder than a Spectrum to set up for me, in my opinion, but not as tedious as a Tyrannus for the first time.
Harder because you're probably the first person in the US to have one.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty new radio. Much out there, but the deviation firmware is out there. So as long as you can equate what button does what, which you got your up, down, left, and right, and then the enter and back button. Basically, once you figure out the positions of it, it's pretty quick to flow through and set everything up. The hardest thing on it for me, getting out of the box with 0 manual, 0 information, was setting up a 3-position switch. And I messed with it for a couple hours. By 3 hours into it, I feel pretty confident with this radio as far as setting it up.
So any questions, ask him.
No. Turn this on. Yeah. I'm gonna work upside down here so you guys can see it. Now that tells me that's like the safety arming thing. But we go into the menu here. The model memory. Let's go here.
How many models does it have?
Let's see. Let's go up. So it looks like 30 on board is what I already...
I usually get about 5 miles, and then 1 or 2 usually fly away, or...
Yeah, that's Basil, guys. Baby Hawk R in because I was playing with it, and Inductrix. I actually bound this to a Horizon Inductrix, the E-Flight Inductrix. So that's, or Blade Inductrix, sorry. I actually bound it with one of those. Other than reversing 2 channels, it was pretty straightforward.
Wow,
so
cool.
again, this shows that it's very versatile because I have a Tyrannus or Free Sky model selected bound. I have a Spectrum model bound, and I'm gonna have a Fly Sky model bound on it too.
Wow.
So
does this model do the Spectrum as well?
this one will do it with
Okay.
this module.
Okay.
That's the thing. With a QX7 natively
Now, how
does
much
not
is-
come with this module.
What's the roughly retail?
I want to say I've
have-
seen there's various versions of this. Some are
Yeah.
older that don't have as many features. They can go anywhere from 40 to 60, I believe, for a module.
All right, so you about 120 plus 60, shit, $180 on
Yeah, I mean-
at retail Amazon or something.
Yeah, I mean-
And here you're at $100. So
Realistically, you're at 2/3 the price
Yeah.
to have the features.
I can tell you right now, some people are going to complain it doesn't have a module back for their Dragon Link.
Oh, the Crossfire stuff?
Crossfire, yeah.
Guys,
Dragon Link, that must be an old
I
stuff.
don't think I would spend as much money on a the Crossfire Link as I would on the whole radio, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that QX7's a little different on that one. But I don't think this is what that's geared to.
Right.
So
this is more of a entry level.
yeah, I think this
all in
is
one.
that step from the toy quad to the hobby grade quad.
Right. All right. Let's see how many switches we got here. Let's go over the switches. We got what's this top
So
we got here?
you got 2 dials here, progressive dials. So they don't have any like clicking positions or anything like that. So they're just freewheeling potometers. And then you got 2 switches up here. Typically that's used for like arming and beepers, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So these are 2 position switches. Switch D right here is a 2 position. And this is a 3 position right here. This one is also a 3 position. So the 2 longer ones are 3 position and the outer ones are shorter.
Okay.
Guys that have used Fly Sky, they're familiar with that, with the way the switch orientation is. So that's
Okay.
almost the same there.
So going down here. Like,
Down here, this is your trim tabs for the sticks. So you got the trim tabs for the...
which is a little different because mostly the trim,
yeah, typically they're up here. So
Yeah.
it's a little different. It's a little shifted. I think it's shifted out this way.
All right.
Then you got your exit button for the menus, your enter button to select something in the menus, and then your up and down to scroll through the menus and left and right to change.
All right.
So I would definitely say when you first get one of these, definitely set up a blank model. Just start playing around with it,
Yeah.
see what you do, because you can always delete it.
Now this big screen here, I'm sure we're going to be asked.
It is
Actually,
not
I've
for
already
your
seen
FPV. No, that was something. It's TBS makes a radio that's similar shape. That has the FPV screen on it. That's not what this is, guys. This is
just more of a menu
just
screen.
This is basically the menu screen, just like you would have on like a Tyrannus or a Spectrum, something like that.
Okay. Which is nice and big because you actually can read it.
Yeah. So I mean, but the menus. Let's go through some of the stuff here. So you can see the USB port. There's deviation firmware information, all that. So if we go into that, and again, I'm upside down, so I can't really see it too well. But if we go into the model menu here, let's see, model setup, we can load different models. That's how you load the models. And if you want to get out of that, you go back and then you can change the name of it there. You can go change the icon there, if it's a quad or a plane or something like that. And actually, let me exit out of that. And I'm going to go into a new model so we don't mess up one I already set up. You can change the different versions of it, stuff like that. If you want that, you can go down.
So is this a mode 1, mode 2?
Now,
you can change
one thing I would like to point out,
Oh yeah.
every time you set up a model, it's going to be a 10 milliwatt power. That's a low power mode, so if you're going to be flying bigger stuff, planes and all that, you're definitely going to want to change that. Probably up to I think it goes up to 150.
Okay. 100
Yeah.
kilowatt. So that's not the VTX. That is the power.
That's the transmitting power. Yeah. So you don't want to turn it down. I mean, it's variable. Check your local laws and all that, because there's some places. PPM in. That's just stuff. Devo Firmware. Now this is where I was telling you it's got all the different like Devo for like Walkera stuff, different Walkera ones. WK Toys DSMX.
Oh, neat.
JJRC stuff. There's Fly Sky. There's the second version of Fly Sky, the telemetry one. Hubson's, FR Sky, Free Sky, the V8, the older stuff. More Free Sky, that's like the 8-channel version, the D8. Sky Arctic, there's just all different kinds here. So High Sky, there's some older helicopters and planes they were making for a while.
Holy cow, this has everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of toy protocols and there's a list on the Deviation website. You can go and find your product, like your quad or your toy, and figure out, and it tells you use this firmware with this selection to get it to work.
Okay,
so you're
cool.
not just guessing through 60 different models.
Okay.
E-Sky, some of the old helis and stuff like that. CX-10. I think there is, let's see, I can't, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of different ones we're going through here.
Get back to BPM. So.
Yeah, there's DMO2. That was another company that made a lot of Inductrix style quads. And there's USB, stuff like that. So there's a lot of different settings on this, guys, you can go through, and it's pretty cool for that reason alone.
So this is a mode 2. Throttle's on the left-hand
throttle's
side.
on the left-hand side. We're only going to carry the mode 2 model because mode 1's more European standard. You can move the gimbals around and change it in the software between the two.
But stock, it's going to come mode 2.
Mode 2, we're at left-hand throttle, yeah. So cool things you can do. There's telemetry, so it has capability if you're using telemetry receivers on it and you know how to set it up there. Again, that might take, especially with FlySky, it might take a lot of researching.
Does this talk to you like Tyrannus or anything like that?
I don't believe it does have a speaker, no. I think it's just a beeper.
Okay.
That might be something you can mod. This is very new. I only got a couple hours on this thing at best.
Well, how hard is it to bind something? Let's bind the Inductrix or something.
All right, yeah, let's get it.
Well, so we got the Inductrix here.
Like one of the quads that I bound it to, for example, is the Inductrix.
That's the old one too, by the way.
Yeah, this is the DSMX model. So you'll see it's bound here. Give me a second here. So now let me just put it up. So you'll see. Now I did have to reverse a couple channels and all that. Of course, the battery's dead out of the box. Nice, but. Basically, it does.
Let's see again so we can't have any trickery.
So we got left, right,
there we
back,
go. No
forward,
trickery. All
throttle,
right.
and then yaw.
All right, no trickery.
So the battery's flashing low battery.
Nobody back in the back room back there flying it for you, right?
So, but basically that shows you that it can be bound with Spectrum. I've bound it with a couple things.
All right, what else you got? Baby Hawk?
One of the cool ones, actually, the E010C.
All right, get it.
Now,
so I'm guessing this guy is going to be under the DSM.
Yeah, this is on. You're gonna set it up in the menu as a DSM.
Yeah.
Now, one that I know is gonna come up a lot. We've had a lot of people ask in the past with the Tyrannus module that I was using in one of the videos we did.
Yeah.
So that module is essentially what's in the back of this thing.
Okay.
That's what's in the heart of
So
this.
this is not FlySky, not FreeSky, not DSM.
Correct.
X2. This is like its own little proprietary.
In this one, we're gonna go. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna load the file. Let me go here. Go down. It's gonna be set up as. You'll see MJXQ or G, whatever that letter is. When you go into it, there's a secondary one for the E010. Now, again, this is the E010C that comes with a little tiny radio.
C means camera, but
Is either turn on the radio afterwards, or there is a menu to reinitialize. So actually, let's see. So you'll see it flashing there.
Yep.
And you hit enter to reinitialize. And then you see it go solid. Here.
Yeah.
So, and you will have to reverse, I believe, channel 2 and 4 as well on this one.
Okay.
If you guys want, we can do tutorial videos down later, maybe on something like this to set up.
Just let us know in the comments. But let's see, no trickery.
Let's put that prop on a little bit. There we go. So you see, and this is actually very smooth with this compared to the stock radio for sure. Okay, so basically it shows you guys, it's got all the controls there. So basically, this is the reason I like this radio. It's the stepping stone to give you the ability to fly stuff that you already have without having to buy another quad, another radio, everything.
So we showed Spectrum, you showed this little third-party one. Let's do FreeSky.
Okay.
All right, so what's this?
So finally, just to show you another version, this is a Baby Hawk R. We just got this in. This is kind of another excuse to bind up another quad and try it. So
this has a FreeSky.
Yeah, this is the bind and fly motor with a. It's not a true FreeSky receiver. It's the D8 receiver. It's made by another company. It's not from FreeSky, but it does bind up in FreeSky protocol, and it was something I had handy that I wanted to try anyway. So,
all right. So let's see.
So let's get this
so we can
here just to show you.
No trickery. Now this one doesn't have props because one's
and now this one. Let's go into the model menu, and I'll show you guys this one real quick. Our model setup. It's got a FreeSky. It's already been bound, but let's just plug this in. So you can hear the buzzer moving here. Let's see if it arms. Yeah, so we got arming.
Oh, look at that. All right. So that works with FreeSky. So I think I want to bind airplane. Airplane.
All right.
First things first. Plug in the battery. Right.
All right. So let's get this radio in bind mode.
Okay, so that's gonna be, I guess that's binding mode. I have a phone.
Let's find out.
So now what are you gonna do here?
So now I'm gonna tell it to go into bind.
Nope.
Oh, looks like it found really quick.
Wow, is it working? Oh, wow. There you are. Go for throttle?
I don't think I have flaps set up. No, I don't have flaps set
Oh,
up.
that's fine. At least a bind. We won't go through the whole.
I was just curious.
There we go.
So yeah, other than setting up a channel 5 on this particular case.
Wow. So there you go.
So it'll bind with a UMX series or any Horizon receiver. Or
That's awesome.
Yeah,
for me.
so radios. Okay, so biggest difference is this is running Deviation Firmware, which is open source. This is running OpenTX, which is open source. Both of these are open source. There's constant updates and nightly builds on the stuff. As far as the quad itself, or the radios itself, this one with an SD card, it does not come with an SD card. I actually broke my connector cover off, but SD card can allow it to do sound and all that. It also has a USB port to connect to your computer to do firmware updates and simulator stuff like that. And this has what they call a smart port to flash your receivers.
Okay.
This one has similar cover, which is not missing yet because these things never last for me. That looks like it was supposed to be an SD card port, guys. It's not. I opened it up. There's nothing there.
It's blank.
It's blank. Yeah, there's a white connector you'll see in there, a JST connector that goes to like one of the pinouts on the.
So
gimbal.
maybe future versions will have it.
Yeah, I think they just decided to omit that. The USB right here, same USB connector as the FreeSky, the mini USB. That's how you're gonna hook up to the computer and update firmware and change model memories. And then your power switch is down here. Similar, they both are gonna have a warning. Now this is kind of cheating because it does have the SD card in it. But they both have a warning when you power them up, stuff like that for the throttle.
Okay. What kind of warnings I give? Turn that off and then put it on for full, and then put it through full throttle.
Well, that is the warning right there.
Oh, no audio warning?
No, it just has a beep.
Oh, I was waiting for them to tell me to wait.
So,
okay. All right.
So you got that.
At least I have a warning.
All right.
So no SD card. Nah, not a deal breaker because you can hook it up through the computer and get all your files, right?
Yeah, and I have this set to a different. I have the rates lowered on that one.
All right.
Yeah. But basically, guys, the radios, they both have almost the same number of switches, same number of dials, so it's very close as far as the number of physical channels you can set up. They also have virtual channels for like mixing and stuff like that. Menu buttons, I'm gonna give it to the QX7 for the scroll wheel. I'm a big fan of the scroll wheel design versus buttons. That's the reason I didn't like the X9D myself. The overall feel, that's very personal. This is, I think, actually probably this is gonna be a lighter radio than this one because this is 6AA, this is 4AA.
Okay.
This one actually has a life pack in it right now, and it's still, I would almost say, heavier than this one, judging by feeling.
Well, I see it has a strap.
Yeah, they both have a lanyard.
No, I noticed
attachment.
it probably may not matter, but it doesn't have an antenna.
No, there's no, the antenna's internal in this one, going down the side, I believe, or down the arms usually.
No, I guess somebody with more scientific equipment can tell us if that matters or not. I don't know.
If it works, it works.
Right.
So basically they both have a rubberized grip on the back. You'll see here. Now, one thing, this one is like for guys that use them a lot, get them dirty and all, it is going to be replaceable. That's actually kind of good. I think these are molded into the back case of this one.
Okay.
So I kind of like that because the rubber gummies do get messed up over time.
Hot glue all your...
Yeah, you can replace them. So I'm sure they'll be sold down the road and all that. They both have carry handles. This one again has that like 40-in-1 module or whatever they call it, the multi-module in it, whereas this one does not. From the factory, it comes with a cover there. You have to buy that separately.
No module adapter.
That adds money there.
Or module adapter, no module adapter.
Yeah. So, but if you're gonna be running Crossfire stuff like that, you're gonna be looking at something like this.
Yeah.
The actual gimbals, the feeling of the gimbals, these are tighter out of the box. The springs are tighter. But the actual feeling of them, I think the QX7 gimbals are a little better.
They both have that little pointy thing on the inside.
These, I think if you guys are familiar with FlySky radios, like the Eachine radio and all that, the IA6Bs or IA6 radios, I think you're gonna find the gimbals are gonna feel about the same. One thing I did notice with this, it doesn't have. You'll see the stick ends here, and this might be something you may actually want to go through and like Dremel and mod, or they might make another version, or actually just lengthen the sticks now that I think about it. You may actually want to lengthen these gimbals because what I'm finding here, when I go to the max corners, that you can see down here, this part was actually hitting here. So you may actually want to lengthen these sticks a little bit to get more throw. Because I did notice in the channel monitor, I was getting 100% throw, 100% throw, 100% throw, 100% throw, but when I went to the corner, it was like 90% throw.
Oh, interesting.
So unlike some of the other radios that give you max, throw, you're physically hitting the side there. Between the two, setting up, going through the menus and all that, the mixers on it, I actually think this was laid out a little easier. Granted, I don't really know if there's any sources other than the manual for researching it right now. It looks like it's running the same firmware. If anybody's ever heard of the Jumper radio, it's running similar firmware to that.
There you have it. Is this going to be continued or carried on by Grayson Hobby? I think so.
I think we're going to carry it. Yeah. I like it. I kind of hope to see it in some of the other radio package offerings, combos and stuff like that. Is it a Tyrannus killer? No, I don't think so.
Right. Is it a Spectrum killer? I don't think so.
No, I think it's on par between the Fly Sky and the Tyrannus. It has features that you only find in the Tyrannus with an aftermarket part in it for less than the price of the Tyrannus with that part.
Just to be clear, if I had a QX7, I personally would not sell this to get this.
No, if you guys already have a QX7, get the module for it if you want to fly all the toy stuff and all that, if you still want to fly that.
But if you're starting out, or as a second radio for indoors, especially you don't want to lug your nicer radio out, this is a good deal, I think.
Yeah, I think this is a good step up. If you're only running the little tiny radio that comes with your Hubsons, that comes with your SEMAs and stuff like that, then yeah, I think this would be a good step to get into it again for the simulator and the ability to fly various things. And who knows, your buddy might have a Spectrum powered quad that's dirt cheap, and you might go buy it off him so you can fly it. Well, now you got a radio for it.
All right, so thanks for watching. If you're new to Grayson Hobby's YouTube page, be sure to hit that subscribe button and comment below what you think about the radio, and if you think it's good, bad, and would you trade in your QX7 for this guy?
Yep.